Welcome to the first lecture of the course. In this lecture, we are going to learn the very basics of the command line. We will start with an introduction. We will then learn how to use the commands to view our files, and how to use parameters to manage the output. Some of you might be eager to do more complex tasks using the command line. However, it's important that you learn the command line's rules and structure by doing small tasks, so you can eventually have the ability to complete any task you wish. So please be patient and pay attention. So what is the command line? The command line, also called the command prompt or CMD, is a text-based user interface. That means that the only way to interact with it is to type commands. A command is a word that tells the command prompt to act in a specific way or complete a specific task. We will learn more about commands later on. The command line can be used to complete a myriad of tasks and functions. Some of the tools and commands within the command line are extremely useful and cannot be accessed otherwise, making the command line particularly necessary for high-level coding and system administration. Let's take a look. Now that we know what the command line is, let's start using it. The first thing we're going to learn is how to open the command line. Feel free to follow along. The easiest way to open the command line is to type CMD into the search bar and select the first result. Now that our command line is open, let's take a look around it. The first two lines display basic information about our Windows version. Feel free to ignore these. In the next line, you will see the location at which the command prompt is located now, and it's called the current directory. In your case, your Windows username will be displayed here. In my case, it's Julian. One of the many functions of the command line is that it can be used as a file manager, meaning that you can view, delete, rename, change file permissions, and much more. So this would be the equivalent of navigating to the c/user/Julian directory from the Windows File Manager. Viewing files. Let's suppose that we want to view every file and folder in our current location. To do that, we're going to use the dir command. Dir stands for directory. In the first two lines, the single dot represents the current directory, and the double dot the parent directory. So in my case, the single dot displays information about the Julian folder, and the double dot about the users folder. In the first column, we can see the dates and times at which the files were created at, and next to that, the word dir indicates that this is a folder or directory. Finally, the next column after that contains the names of every file. Parameters. While that's all well and good, what if we want to change the way a command works? To do that, we will need to learn parameters. Parameters, also known as options or arguments, are specific words, letters, or symbols that can be typed after any command to make it function in a specific way. Parameters are different for every command, and thus memorizing them all is impossible. Luckily, you don't have to memorize every parameter, because that's where the command help comes in. Typing help dir, for example, will display every available parameter option for the dir command. Let's press enter as instructed by the command line so that we can view the full list of parameters. Let's say, for example, that we want the oldest files to appear first. Going by the output of the help command, we need to use the /o parameter followed by d so that our files are sorted by their creation date. So our complete parameter will be /od. Let's type our command along with our parameter. Our files are now sorted so that the oldest appears first. Success! There are many combinations of commands and parameters which you can use to complete pretty much every task there is. Feel free to try a few more parameters on your own before moving on to the next lecture. Summary. The dir command displays every file and folder in your current directory. Use parameters to make command functions in a specific way. To view every available parameter for a command, type help along with your command. That's it. You know what commands and parameters are and how to use them. This concludes our lecture. Make sure you use the command prompt on your own and put to practice what you have learnt thus far. Until then, see you on the next lecture.